Over the last couple of weeks, I've spent quite a bit of time talking about medical professional liability because it is one of the most important insurance policies that any healthcare provider and any healthcare organization has. But it really is just one piece of the puzzle. And there's a lot of other insurance needs that healthcare organizations have, and there's a policy out there that, in my opinion anyway, is just as, if not even more important than your medical professional liability, and that is cyber liability coverage. Cyber liability used to be viewed as more of a luxury item, something that if we wanted to have all the bases covered, we would go ahead and invest in that, but that has changed rapidly into becoming an absolutely essential part of your insurance portfolio, especially if you're a healthcare organization, because the healthcare industry is the number one target for cyber criminals. And I have an experience with one of my clients earlier this year that really opened my eyes to the fact that even though I do take time to walk my clients through their policies and explain the different coverages that are provided, it's still just such a unique piece of insurance that most people struggle to wrap their heads around just what they're covered for and what circumstances that they have coverage for that they are not aware of. As many of you know, Change Healthcare was hacked back in late February, and this client that I work with had their renewal in mid-March. So we were already pretty much done with the renewal process by the time that hack happened. And so when we went to issue them their new policies, let them know they needed to pay the carrier, as well as pay us for some of those policies, they let us know they were not sure when they were going to be able to make payment because Change Healthcare was their clearinghouse. They had been down for 2 to 3 weeks by the time we had this conversation, and if you go more than 30 days without paying your premium, you're running the risk of that policy being canceled due to non-payment. So I immediately jumped into action and I let them know that, cyber liability policies are extremely broad and they provide a coverage called contingent business income. And if you own your building or you lease a building and you want coverage for revenue you might lose if you're unable to occupy that building due to a covered claim, that's called business income coverage. It replaces revenue lost if your building is required to be vacated because there has been some sort of covered claim and you can't operate there until the damage is repaired or the building is rebuilt. On cyber liability, the coverage is very similar, but the trigger is entirely different. You do have business income coverage on your cyber liability policy so that if your systems, your servers are hacked and you're unable to perform any treatments or see any patients and aren't able to generate revenue because of it, you can recoup that lost revenue until your systems are back up and running. But contingent business income coverage is if one of your third-party partners, like your EMR software, any of your cloud-based systems, or in this case, your clearinghouse is hacked and you're unable to collect the revenue they owe you, or you're unable to go about your daily business of seeing patients, billing insurance, and everything like that. You also have that same business income. That revenue is replaced until your partner's systems are back up and running so that you can continue to pay your staff, pay your bills, and try to keep your practice as operational as possible. Most people don't know that this coverage is on their cyber liability policy, and part of the reason is that it's not provided by default on every single policy out there, but it's provided on the majority of policies that I've seen. And if you're not sure what your policy does and does not cover, that's not your fault. These policies are incredibly technical. There's over 50 insuring agreements in these policies. And so I certainly wouldn't expect you to have the advanced level of knowledge and understanding of what these policies mean. That's your agent's job. That's my job to explain that to you. So if you have any questions about your cyber liability coverage, or you want to make sure that you're adequately covered, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help and see if we can't get you in a better position. You are paying for this policy, so in my opinion anyway, it's only right for you to fully understand what it is you're paying for and how to take advantage of it. Because the more informed you are, the more powerful of a buyer you become, and the better results you're going to get.